As the mayor of the town of Clayton, I'd like to call this Clayton Town Council meeting to order. I ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Most gracious and heavenly Father, we pause to give you thanks for the many blessings of this day. And we ask, Lord, now that you be with us as we proceed with the business for the town of Clayton. For it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No adjustments this evening.
Then I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Up next is your consent agenda.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And motion carries. Up next, under the administrative items, will be the Clayton for You.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Town Council. Tonight, we're bringing to you an episode of Clayton for You on shopping safely, which we felt would be very apt this time of year, especially approaching the holidays.
From small town shops to online carts, shopping has never been more convenient. But with convenience comes the need to stay alert. In this episode of Clayton for You, we'll show you how a few smart habits can help keep your packages and your personal information safe.
Package theft, often called porch piracy, can happen anywhere and it only takes a few minutes. You can reduce the risk by tracking your deliveries, scheduling drop-offs for when you'll be home, or asking a trusted neighbor to pick up your packages. And if your carrier offers it, signature confirmation adds an extra layer of security. It's smart to stay alert digitally too. Fraudsters can send fake texts or emails pretending to be your carrier and will try to steal your personal information. If you get an unexpected text or email about a delivery, don't click any links. Instead, check your shipment status directly through the carrier's official website or app. If you're meeting someone to buy or sell an item through an online marketplace, always choose a public, well-lit location and consider bringing a friend. For extra peace of mind, you can always use the Safe Exchange Zone at the Clayton Police Department located at 315 East 2nd Street. It's a well-lit area with cameras and a simple, secure spot for pickups or sales.
When you click, ship, and shop safely, you can enjoy peace of mind with every purchase. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Clayton for You. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. Up next on our introduction and special presentation will be the GFOA's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like for our budget manager, Todd Melton, to come on up, be recognized. We found out last week that the town received the GFOA Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. This is a nationally recognized program for this award. It honors state and local governments that produce high-quality budget documents meeting rigorous standards for transparency, clarity, and strategic financial planning. A little over 2 years ago, you all voted to create the budget manager position with the focus of making sure that we were laser focused on a daily basis, providing the resources to be able to keep an eye on the budget, help develop long-range financial plans. And when Todd came on board just about 2 years ago, that was kind of the early goal we set was for his office to be able to develop a budget book that was able to meet the standards of the GFOA award as well as hopefully receive it. And so very proud and appreciative of Todd's work that in the first time that we were able to submit for the award, we won it. So I was gonna give Todd a few minutes here just to kind of explain some of the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into it for him and take a minute to explain it.
Thank you, Rich. First of all, really appreciate Mr. Mayor and Council the support throughout this process. You heard me say it several times, but it was one of the first things that Rich and I talked about as a goal for the office. So really happy to see this come to fruition. It was definitely, I mean, almost everyone that is a member of our team with the town of Clayton, from town manager, executive team, department heads, staff, have fingerprints on this thing. So it's not, definitely it's not just me, not even just our team. Our team, my members of my team cannot be here tonight because they're in college. So they're at night class getting their MPAs. But I do want to specifically mention Jessica Watkins was here from the beginning when we started on this budget book, did a whole lot of work on this thing. And she has reached out and spoken with, I don't know, 50% of our workforce probably at one point or another to try to gather information and vet information and make sure we were telling the right story and all the qualitative and quantitative data that was involved in the budget book that was included. So just a big shout out to everyone that has helped us along the way to get here. I thought I might, while I have the minute up here, take the opportunity to tell you why I think it's significant that we won this award, and maybe to talk a little bit about what it is and what it isn't. The GFOA, Government Finance Officers Association, multinational. I say multinational because they operate in Canada and the US, so that's two. It's multi. Organization of professionals in my line of work and Robert's line of work, from finance officers, directors, budget managers, directors, all different sorts of financial positions in governments across the country, across the two countries, that provide research and vetting of best practices in the area of budgeting, financial reporting, things of that nature. And the criteria for this award specifically, which is a budget award, budget presentation award, there are 27 required criteria for this award. These come from ideas from all corners of the US and Canada. The reason I think it's significant that we won this award is that being in Clayton, North Carolina, we don't necessarily know what they're doing on the West Coast for their budget book. But as long as we're in this community and we're applying for this award and looking at the criteria and seeing what the best practices say that we should be providing in the book, we're able to sort of gather information from other folks across the country that are doing this line of work. It's an award that states that we're providing the information to our public, to our stakeholders, that should be useful to members of the public, should be useful to members of council, our department heads, our staff, because everyone sort of agrees in a collective that these are the best practices and best things to include. Just going to mention a few of the criteria that we had to satisfy to get this award. So as I said, there were 27 required criteria, dozen optional criteria that we also tried to excuse me, tried to address as well. Some things like, do you define your budget structure? Yes. Do you define what a department is, what a fund is, what the relationship between the department and fund are? Yes. Do you present your strategic plan in the budget book? Yes, we did that. Do you talk about how the budget and the strategic plan are related? Yes. Do you show a clear picture of your staffing? I think that's a big one. We have organizational charts for the entire town. We have an organizational chart for every single department in this budget book. I don't think that is data that has been readily available to the public, so I feel like that's a big deal. Do you explain the different ways that you make money in the town? Yes, we do that. Do you explain the differences between your funds? Yes, general fund, we have enterprise fund. I'm not sure that, I feel like that's important information to get out there so people understand the regulations behind those sorts of things. CIP, yeah, we included the CIP. We included details on our capital projects. We included a clear picture of the town's debt. We know exactly what our debt payments are going to be for the next 25, 30 years, barring any other, we know we'll borrow more money in the future, but as it stands, on July 1st, we know exactly what our debt picture looks like. So anyway, just want to point out a few things that I think are important, included in the budget book, that goes beyond just making it look pretty, formatting it. Although formatting is certainly a part of some of these things, we've talked about, some of the criteria stress that some of the charts especially are easy to read. They're formatted in a way that people can understand and absorb data from them. But the award is mostly about the content. I just want to point that out. Less than 5% of local governments in the country get this award every year. Not everybody's going for the award, and it's not a competitive reward. It's a reward. It's an award that is given to folks that are willing to do the work to address those criteria that, again, were developed using best practices in the field. So anyway, I don't want to be up here all night for you guys, but lastly, we're very happy to receive this. We're very proud of it. My expectation is that we're going to win it every year now. That's what I expect. And I also want to say, this is not the finish line by any means. This is a step in the right direction, we think, and we're going to improve on it going forward. That's my plan. So I guess that's it. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to try to address
Awesome.
that.
Any questions or comments for Todd? Okay.
I pushed the right button so you can hear me. I just want to say congratulations to you and everybody that worked on this. I get that part of this is the formatting of the book, but if you didn't do the work to have the content to put in the book with all the information about our finances and making sure we're where we need to be, and the transparency and the professionalism that goes into the information in the book, it would not have won this award. So thank you so much for your detail. We do appreciate it. It keeps us on track. And I, for one, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Sims.
I just want to say thank you. As I end my term, I'm very proud to say that we won an award in budget. I think that when I came on, along with other colleagues, one of our things was transparency and being able to show what it looks like. Along with our current town manager, we were able to put together a plan that you all carried out. So just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anyone else? Mr. Casey.
Great job. Appreciate it. Appreciate
Thanks.
what you and your staff do. Thank you.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Good work. Up next under old business will be the the third amendment to the Clayton Raleigh interlocal agreement for wastewater services.
Good evening, Mayor, members of Town Council, Joshua Baird, Water Resources Director. The item before you tonight is an amendment to a current interlocal agreement with the City of Raleigh. This item's been a long time coming, a lot of work put into it, and excited to put it before you tonight. Clayton has a history of agreements with the City of Raleigh when it comes to wastewater, dating back to the initial one in 2007, and over time there's been a series of amendments to that. The most recent one, the second amendment back in 2021, that took the capacity where it was at 1 million gallons of wastewater per day to 1.75 million gallons of wastewater per day that we could send to the city of Raleigh as an additional treatment and redundant source that we have. Before I step into the specifics of the amendment that's before you tonight, I would like to just recap some of our wastewater sources, just so that you have an understanding of what the amendment does and overall the significance of the amendment. So before you tonight is a chart here of the 3 different treatment sources that the town currently has. I want to step to the total capacity here. This is the total overall capacity amongst our sources when we complete Sam's Branch, the current reclamation project we're working on, just over 9 million gallons per day of treatment capacity that we will have. And for reference, the current tributary flows in a maximum month average daily is around 4.5. That's not our average daily from a yearly average, but just that worst case max month that we also have to plan for to be sure that we can be able to treat that hydraulically and from a treatment process. What I'd like to do is to step through each of these, and starting with Johnston County contract, that's currently owned capacity in perpetuity. That's 1.44. We have that in perpetuity. So when we're talking about plans and long-range thoughts for that treatment source, we have that is there. And we have asked if there's opportunities to expand that, but there's some current limitations around the treatment transmission capacity for us to get that to Johnston County. Skip it over to City of Raleigh for just a second here, and talking about Sam's Branch. Obviously, our first phase is 6 million gallons per day. That is the current project that we're working on. There has, we've reported before, but just looking at the next steps for that, we have completed a preliminary engineering report to look beyond that first phase of 6 million gallons per day, looking at where those structures are, what are the next steps. The preliminary engineering report was done with support from HDR Consultants, where we were able to look at different treatment trains, the process, how to handle solids, different things that as we expand and grow that we've got to account for and to be sure that we've got plans for. I think these may have been shown before, but just looking at a 10 MGD facility, the current permit does allow for up to 10 million gallons per day into the river. That's currently what we have in our discharge permit. But taking it a step further and looking at if we could squeeze 12 million gallons per day out of the facility. So it's been broken up. The current permit, as alluded to, has that cap of 10 million gallons per day in it. We've also requested from the state what they call speculative limits. So as we're looking into that next permit, what are the limits going to be? What can the river handle from a dissolved oxygen, from a nitrogen standpoint? So we have looked to go beyond that via a request to the state. The request came back for some collaborative work with both us, Raleigh, and Johnston County to collectively, regionally kind of model the river to understand that. That was completed in September, and that updated request to go beyond 10 to understand what those limits could be is into NCDEQ and currently under review. Along that two lines, you guys have approved just this year 2 additional purchases of nitrogen to be able to expand what we can put into to offset the nitrogen that we can't completely treat down to. So when it comes to Sam's Branch, plans and have significant work and triggers basically ready to pull on those expansions when the timing is correct. So jump back to the other treatment source here, the City of Raleigh, that is for currently 1.75 million gallons per day. The current agreement that is in that second amendment that I've shared earlier does sunset and terminate in 2027. So when we're looking at the other two, we've got some options for looking long-term here. But right now, as the current agreement sits, the agreement does terminate in 27. So the item before you tonight is an actual extension of that agreement from 2027 to 2040. And so there's several benefits to being able to put this in place till 2040. I've got a graph here to help to illustrate. If you, to get your bearings here, the bar chart here, the bars are our latest forecast in overall wastewater flows, different types showing our existing flows, additional growth from different models, biopharma growth. The green solid line has been our historical max month average daily flow. Again, that kind of max worst case scenario through the year when we have our flows at their highest. And then the dashed green line is the forecasted max month average day flows. The bold line here is showing the total treatment capacity with Sam's Branch, that first phase at 6 MGD, that 9.13 number I shared earlier. And you see 2027, that drop based on the current agreements that are in place. With the item before you tonight and the ability to actually extend and keep that 1.75, ultimately what we're doing is providing flexibility in when that next phase of Sam's Branch has to be completed, providing some flexibility in the timing of that and not making it a initially critical path as we work through other projects. So really based on the forecast, subject to change, but maybe a 5-year window that it allows for additional flexibility in the timing of the future phases of Sam's Branch, which ultimately it's a benefit to everyone, to the staff from an operational redundancy, being able to have an alternative means if a certain train in our treatment plant needs maintenance. It gives us that flexibility, as well as to the rate structures and having the flexibility on the best timing to be able to pull off these projects and the additional phases of Sam's Branch. Generally, the terms of the agreement are unchanged, just extending them from the 2027 termination to 2040. The amount of bulk treatment does stay the same at 1.75 million gallons per day. There is one change and one exception. The previous agreements have had a restriction on pharmaceutical industrial process flows. With the current amendment that's before you tonight, the door is open to allowing those on a case-by-case basis by approval from the Director of Raleigh Water. So that's been a huge win. There's been a lot of technical work going into that and providing data and working with City of Raleigh staff and consultants to be able to show what our flows look like and be able to remove that direct restriction. Still work to be done there, but it does open the door on a case-by-case basis. So with the approval tonight, really effectively, the 3 treatment sources that we have at least have a game plan for the future and really sets current customers and future growth in a good option, as well as the staff that operate and handle and treat the wastewater and providing redundancy and options as events come up and just the community we serve. So tonight, I recommend approval of the agreement and the resolution to allow the town manager to execute the agreement and any administrative items related to it. I will also note that this item that's before you tonight is also on the City of Raleigh's agenda and should be acted on tomorrow night, I believe. So with that, in advance of any action, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
All right, thank you. Questions or comments? All right, thank you so much. Great presentation. Ms. Archer?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion
All right.
for adoption of Resolution 2025-111.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Resolution 2025-111. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, jumping on down to staff reports, beginning with the town manager. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss that? I'm sorry. Wait. I don't have my glasses tonight. I'm sorry. It is. Up next, my apologies, is public comment. I'll now open the floor for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak, please step forward and state your name for the record. All right, no one wishing to speak, then we'll jump on down to staff reports, beginning with the town manager.
All righty. A couple things just wanted to highlight from this evening's actions. So on the consent agenda, item C was the update for the MOU between the town and the Johnson County Public School Systems for what was historically an agreement to be able to shoot fireworks off from the Clayton High School site. As many are aware, I think the plans were just recently released. There will be a project going on that site, particularly in the exact location where we can safely shoot the fireworks from. And so what we've worked with their staff to be able to determine, and our staff basically to vet out, is the ability to release and fire them from Clayton Middle School next year. This agreement now allows that to happen. Essentially, it's all the same terms, insurance, liability, all that, that we did with the high school, just moved the launch site to the middle school. Staff are currently in the works, making the final plans on how all of that would work, identifying that there's a lot of parking available in and around that vicinity that should allow for good viewing, but more to come on that once we have a formalized plan. But just did want to note that fortunately, we're getting a new Clayton High School. Unfortunately, that impacts the ability for us to utilize that site. However, they've been gracious enough to work with us for the Clayton Middle School property. So looking forward to ironing out all the details on that and getting that back out there for you all. The second thing, just to piggyback off of the item Joshua was just talking about, that's a big win for us in the grand scheme of things. A lot of the rate pressures that we've had here over the last several years on our water and sewer utility rates, the Sam's Branch project, these large capital projects that are necessary, being able to now possibly defer an expansion of that allows us to really look at how we can stabilize those rate increases and get to a more stable increase there. So if we need an increase. So really appreciate the city of Raleigh and the staff, really appreciate our staff and the consultants that we've been working with. It was a lot of work to go through to get them comfortable with expanding the options for us there and taking it through 2040. So again, big win for the town, pending finalization of that agreement. And then last but not least, just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Sims for a great program for the Veterans Day celebration we had earlier. Very good attendance. Really appreciate all the folks that were able to come on out and enjoy it. Great job. Thank you, sir. That's it.
All right, town attorney. Thank you, sir. Town clerk. Thank you, ma'am. Any other staff? All right. Turn it over to council for comments. Mr. Casey.
First off, I want to also echo the same sentiments. I thought Councilman Sims did a great job with the veterans ceremony tonight. Two big shout outs. First off, Clayton High School Marching Band had an undefeated season. I want to congratulate them in their Division 1A class. But then one of the other big ones though is Clayton beat Cleveland 20-3, snapped their 61 game home, our conference streak, and they're now Clayton High School's conference champs. So congratulations to Clayton football for a great end of the conference season. Now into the playoffs, which are not this upcoming Friday, but next Friday at home.
Awesome.
Just one more quick comment, just to reiterate what town manager said about your, it's not a performance, what your heartfelt presentation to the veterans was. And what's exciting is he gave, Councilman Sims gave orders to the veterans about getting involved and getting up off the sofa. And he's already had one veteran that has said that they heard what he said and is going to get up off the sofa. So I thought it was awesome and inspiring and wonderful to see. Thank you.
Yep.
I too would like to say, really enjoyed the presentation on tonight, and also just enjoy just being here working with you. And I also want to shout out to the town for the Hoppers Fest, the excellent job for what they've done, and I want to congratulate them. Job well done.
Thank you.
Echoing the same sentiments, but all I will add is that I heard those marching orders as well and take them to heart the way that I've seen you do in all my years of knowing you in Clayton, but particularly the last 4. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We've had several Veterans Day events where we have a guest speaker to come in today, and never have I had one that was so engaging in his delivery and his storytelling that when he finished, I thought it was abruptly, but it was actually, that's how quickly the time went by. It was amazing today, and we are very appreciative to you and your service to our great country. And we're appreciative to you for your great service to the town of Clayton. Mike Sims has been modeling the way a long time, and he is a leader that we can all follow and have respect for. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It means a lot.
On another note, I would just like to remind everybody that tomorrow is Election Day in the town of Clayton. So you can get out there and really show your love for Clayton, North Carolina by casting a ballot. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes to go and vote, and it makes the biggest difference for you and your community. For me, local government is always the best form of government because we see the people we serve every day. And we are honored to be in the positions that we are in to be able to do the good work that we get to do for our citizens with the town of Clayton. So please get out tomorrow and cast your ballot, and good luck to all of our town council candidates tomorrow. All right. Anything else? Hearing nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good night.